Hello everyone, I am Batu, pre-sales software specialist for American workflows. Today, we are going to have an overview of Cuscen small business. Let's start with the dashboard. The dashboard we're looking at is the nerve center of your business's financial tracking system. It's designed to give you a quick snapshot of your business's financial activity, including sales, expenses, and income. As you can see, we have today's sale, today's AR, today's purchase, and today's expense. Also, we have the chart of monthly income and the chart of monthly expense as well. Next, we have the finance overview. Let's begin with the balance sheet. Here, we see a snapshot of our company's financial standing. Our accounts receivable stand at 3.43k, suggesting that we have outstanding invoices that once collected could improve our cash position. Moving on, the accounts payable. We are looking at 2.51k. Keeping this number in check is crucial for maintaining good relationships with the suppliers. Our inventory levels are at 255k. It's essential to balance this to avoid excess stocks or stockouts. Assets total 179.78k, a solid foundation for our operations. Liability and equity tell the tale of what we owe and what we own. With 207.61k in combined liabilities and equities, our financial structure requires careful analysis for long-term sustainability. In the income statement section, we see our sales revenue at 1.17k against a cost of goods sold at $244. These numbers are critical for understanding our gross profit margins. Our operational expenses stand at $100. Monitoring this helps us in the budgeting and identifying areas where we can cut costs. And there is a positive note with our net income at 1k, an indicator of our business profitability over the period. The cash balance graph illustrates a concerning dip in recent months, emphasizing the need for a revised financial strategy. While in the gross and net profit graph, we see a more stable trend. However, we must aim for consistent growth here. Lastly, the payment method chart reveals a strong preference for transactions through AC Lee EDA Bank, which may offer insights into our customer payment behavior or the efficiency of our banking services. Moving on to inventory. First, we have the products. Starting in the top left corner, the Add Product button is your gateway to input new inventory items into the system. This feature is essential for keeping your product list up to date. Next to it, we have the Update Price function, allowing you to adjust your pricing in real time. Followed by Print Barcode Label, a critical tool for physical organization and easy checkout processing. Moving on to the main inventory table, you'll notice each entry begins with an image. Visuals helps in quickly identifying the product, especially useful in businesses with extensive and varied inventory. The code and name fields work in tandem to provide a quick reference for each item. With unique codes, inventory management becomes more efficient and less prone to the error. The type column differentiates your products, marking them as standard or otherwise, which could indicate special handling or selling conditions. Category and unit further classify products, making it easier to manage stock by type and measure. The financial backbone of your inventory lies within the cost and price columns, representing the purchase cost and selling price, respectively. Quantity shows you briefly how many times you have on hand. An essential feature is the alert quantity column. It triggers notifications when stock levels dip below a specified threshold, prompting timely recording never miss a sale. The action column is where you interact with each product entry. Here you can edit details, track stock movement, and more with just few clicks. And this is a detail view that we can see. Starting with the product type, you have options such as standard and combo. Select standard for individual items and combo for group products. Next is the product code. Enter a unique identifier for your product here. Underneath, you'll find the product name. Provide a descriptive title for your product. For project, you can assign this product a specific project in your inventory. This helps in tracking project-specific sales. Now let's move to the select brand. Here, you can associate the product with a brand in your inventory. The category field is where you classify your product. Let's select the food and beverage. Subcategories further refine where your product sits in the inventory. For our Oreo cookies, we'll choose snacks. In the product unit, choose how this product is quantified. We will select PCS for pieces. Under default purchase unit, we will also select PCS to maintain consistency. For product currency, select the currency in which you'll be listing the cost. We'll go with USD. Next is product cost. Input the cost price of the product here. Then product price. This will be the selling price. In the product image, you can upload a photo of your product. Click Browse to select an image from your computer. You can also add multiple images to product gallery images for a more comprehensive display. Scrolling down to product details. Here you can add more specific information about the Oreo cookies. Finally, once you have filled all the necessary fields, click Edit Product to save your changes. Next, we have the non-stack items. Starting on the left, the dashboard presents structure menu, providing a quick access to all inventory aspects. Next, we have the non-stack items. Like the products tab, here you see a rows of items, each with unique codes and descriptive names. We can notice add non-stack and update price buttons at the top, vital for keeping your inventory up to date. The inventory is categorized for clarity. You have type, indicating whether it's a raw material or a service, and a category for grouping similar items. The cost and price columns reflects your expenditure and selling price, while quantity tracks the stock levels. An item with a negative quantity signals a critical stock out, triggering an immediate need for replenishment. The action button unfolds options to edit, remove, or view more about the product, offering you full control of your inventory. Moving on to the import products, we can import products by uploading an Excel file. Next, we have the stock counts. Stock counts is the feature that ensures you keep track of every product in your inventory. With easy to use functions like add stock counts and delete stock counts, you are always in control. Each stock count entry includes essential details. Let's break them down. The date column shows when the stock count was performed. Under reference, you'll find a unique identifier for each count, essential for tracking and audits. The warehouse column indicates where the stock was counted. In our example, EC Cloud View tells us exactly which locations inventory was accounted for. The type signifies the stock count extent. A full count means every item was accounted for versus a partial count. The performance stock count, you can start by clicking Add Stock Counts. You can enter the date and select your warehouse and decide if it's a full or partial count. You can also include the reference for organizational purposes. Once a count is added, removing is straightforward. Click Details view all time is counted. Here, you can verify quantities and check for the differences. Moving on to the goods issue. This feature allows you to record items leaving your warehouse, ensuring your stock levels are up to date. To add a new goods issue record, click on Add Goods Issue button. Here, you'll enter the details of transaction. Each entry is crucial for accurate tracking and reporting. Let's start with the date. It's pre-filled with today's date, but you can change it if you need it. Next is the reference now. It's generated automatically for consistency and easy retrieval. Now, let's select the warehouse from which the goods will be issued. Don't forget the attribute to issue as staff member. This keeps everyone is accountable. If the goods are issued to a customer, you can select one from your customer base here. You can add any relevant notes about the issue to the field on the bottom of the page. Once all information is entered, you can save the record. You can also perform actions like editing or deleting using the action drop-down menu. Need this data in a spreadsheet? You can just hit export the Excel file to download your records. You see all the entries listed under the date with all the relevant details, easy to view, and simple to manage. Next, we have the quantity adjustments. This page is designed to give you a detailed overview of all adjustments made to your inventory quantities. Whether it's a stock, take a correction, a return, or any other adjustments. This is where you'll keep track of it all. To add a new adjustment, click on the Add Adjustment button located on the top left corner of the page. This action will take you through a simple form where you can input details of the adjustment. Now, let's go over the information display on the main page. You'll notice a table with several columns. Let's break them down one by one. First, we have the date column, which records when each adjustment was made, ensuring a chronological timeline of inventory changes. Next, the reference node column provides a unique identifier for each transaction, vital for auditing and tracking purposes. The warehouse column specifies the location of the stock, essential for businesses operating across multiple storage facilities. In the credit by column, this is the name of the staff member who made the entry, attributing accountability. The note column also adds additional comments on the adjustment, such as Valentine's Day party, first indicating a promotional event affecting stock levels. Each entry has a status indicator, in this case, showing approves. This status confirms that the adjustments have been verified and are final. Finally, the action column provides quick links to edit or review the details of adjustments. At the top left corner, you have the option to export the Excel file, allowing you to manage your records offline or conduct further analysis. Also, the search bar on the top right is for a specific entry, ensuring you can quickly find what you're looking for in an extensive database. Moving on to the cost adjustments. This page allows you to adjust the cost of your products due to various reasons such as price changes from suppliers, shipment costs, or other expenses that affect your cost of goods sold. To add a new cost adjustment, click on the Add Cost Adjustment button. This allows you to enter details for a single product. If you need to adjust costs for multiple products at once, use the Add Cost Adjustment by an Excel option on the top left of the page. This feature is particularly useful when dealing with large inventories. You can also export your cost adjustment data by clicking on Export the Excel file. This is a handy way to create backups or to analyze your adjustments outside of the Cuscen software. Here we have a single cost adjustment entry listed. We can notice the date, reference number, and who created the adjustment. It's essential to keep this information precise for accurate record keeping and accountability. Each column provides a specific information: date for when the adjustment was made, reference now is a unique identifier for the adjustment, and credit by indicating the user who made the entry. To find a specific adjustment, use the search function on the top right here. You can search by date, reference number, or user. If you have multiple entries, you can navigate through the pages using these controls. Next, we have the co-assignments. The co-assignments page provides a comprehensive view of all co-assignment transactions. At the top, you have options to add co-assignment, export the Excel file, and delete co-assignments. Adding a new co-assignment is straightforward. You can click on Add Co-assignment to enter the details of a new transaction. Here, we have a table that lists all entries with important details. Let's break down what each column represents. The date column shows the date co-assignment was created. Following that is the reference node, which is a unique for every co-assignment, helping you to track them efficiently. Next is the con reference node, a secondary reference used for internal tracking or external communication. Each co-assignment has a due date, critical for managing deadlines and expectations with your customers. Moving on, the customer and salesman columns display who the goods were co-assigned to and who managed the sale. The total quantity and total return quantity columns show the quantity of goods sent out and returned. The total sale quantity, total balance quantity, and grand total provide financial details of the co-assignment. We can notice the balance, status, and approved status columns. This gives you insights into the co-assignment current financial balance. progression status, and whether the co-assignment has been approved. Finally, the action button at the end of each row allows you to manage the co-assignment with option tailored to the status of each entry. At the bottom, a summary row tallies the totals of quantity, return quantity, balance, and grand total, giving a snapshot of overall activity. Moving on to the co-assignment return. This is where you can track and manage all return items from your customers. Here on the main screen, you'll see a table that provides a detailed list of all the co-assignment returns you have processed. Let's walk through each column to understand what information is available to you. The date column shows you when the return was recorded. It's essential for tracking returns against your sales data. Next, you have the reference to and reference no to columns. These columns are critical for matching the return against the original co-assignment document. The customer and salesman columns provide names, ensuring accountability and enabling you to follow up with the right individuals if needed. The total return quantity and total return amount columns quantify the return both in units and monetary value, which is crucial for updating your inventory and financial records. Lastly, the status column indicates whether the return has been finalized. Keeping this updated ensures that your inventory levels are accurate. You can sort the entries by any of these columns just by clicking on the column header. Moreover, if you're looking for a specific entry, you can use the search bar at the top right corner to quickly locate it. Need to analyze your data further or prepare a report? Then you can just click the Export to Excel file button on the top left to download all the data you see here. Next, we have the goods receipts. This function is for keeping track of items entering your inventory. Let's break down the screen. The table headers on the screen are magnified to show date, reference known, GR reference known, and other. Each entry is detailed with critical information. Starting from the left, we have the date the goods were received and the unique reference known for tracking. Next to GR reference known links your physical goods to the paperwork, ensuring every item can be audited seamlessly. Information on supplier and salesman connects each receipt to the source and the responsible company representative. Understanding the flow of your goods is crucial. This is reflected in the total quantity and grand total, indicating the volume and value of the goods received. And most importantly, the status column informs you the receipt of a progress. A completed status means all goods have been received as per the order, while partial indicates a pending delivery. For each entry, the action button offers a further functionalities. You can view details, edit, or even delete records if necessary. Need to analyze the data offline? No problem. With one click, you can export these records with Excel. Moving on to the goods received return. This page is designed to give you a comprehensive view of all the goods return activities. Firstly, we can notice the organized layout that begins with the date column. Here, you'll see when the return was processed. Following this is the reference zone column, which is crucial for tracking and auditing purposes. Moving right, we have the supplier and salesman columns. This fields record who supplied the return goods and which salesperson handled the transaction. In our example, general supplier is listed as a supplier, with the field suggesting an option to choose from existing suppliers. Next, let's discuss the financial aspects. The total return quantity shows the quantity of items returned, and alongside it, the total return amount displays the monetary value of the return. Last but certainly not least is the status column, where you can instantly see the state of the return. Our entry is marked as return, indicating the process has been completed. An essential feature for reporting is the Export to Excel file button located at the top of the page. With one click, you can download all this data for further analysis or record keeping. Next, we have the converts. Convert screen is your go-to destination for managing the transformation of raw materials into finished goods. To begin a new conversion, we can simply click on Add Converts button. This allows you to input the details of the raw materials you wish to convert. Need to analyze your conversion offline? No problem. With a single click on the Export Excel file button on the top left, you can download your data for further analysis. The table here lists all conversions in a clear, concise manner. Each entry provides essential details such as the date of the conversion, reference number, work order reference, bill of material use, warehouse location, quantity converted, who credited the entry, and additional notes. The note field can be used to add any relevant information about the conversion. Here, we have a note label ABC, which could signify a specific batch or detail related to conversion. The action buttons to the right enable quick editing or deleting of converts, ensuring that managing your inventory is a seamless experience. This intuitive interface of the convert section makes it effortless to manage your inventory conversions. With all your information in one place, you can ensure accuracy and efficiency in your business operations. Moving on to the work order. This essential feature for tracking and managing production orders. Here, we have a single work order listed. We can notice the various columns providing crucial information briefly. The date column shows the order was created. Next to the reference column displays a unique identifier for the work order. The BOMs, bill of material column, signifies the bill of materials required for the order, essential for inventory management. Next to it is the warehouse column, indicating the location handling the order. The quantity column indicates the number of items to be produced or processed. Here is set to 1. The from date and to date signify the start and end dates, which in this example both fall on the 16th of April 2024, suggesting a same day turnaround. The deadline days column is crucial for prioritizing tasks. A zero value, as we see here, often indicates an immediate action required. The responsible field is assigned to Cuscen demo placeholder for this account. The description field typically holds additional notes about the work order. The credit by column indicates who generated the work order, here listed as Cuscen demo. The status field shows the current state of the order, which is pending. The status indicates that work order has not been processed. The action column contains operational control that allows user to edit, delete, or update the work order status. Above the table, there are options to add work order, export to Excel file, and delete work order, giving users the tools to manage work orders efficiently. With this intuitive interface, managing work orders is straightforward, ensuring that your small business can keep production on track. Next, we have the bill of materials. Here, we see a clean and user-friendly interface designed to keep track of all your material costs in one place. We can notice in the top panel where you have the option to add BOM, export the Excel file, and delete BOMs. These functionalities are crucial for creating a new record, maintaining backups, and managing your existing data. Clicking on Add BOM will allow you to enter a new bill of materials into the system. But before we do that, let's examine the existing entries. Here, we have a single BOM entry. They showcase the multi-branch capability of Cuscen, allowing you to differentiate material cost by location. The BOM list is concise and informative. For each BOM, you can view the name, total cost, and the user to credit by. This ensures transparency and accountability within your business operations. On the far right, we have action buttons. These are your gateway to editing or viewing the detailed content of each BOM. Let's proceed to edit the current BOM to see what it looks like. After clicking on an edit button, you'll be taken to a detailed page where you can modify each aspect of the bill of materials, from quantities to cost per unit. And if you had more than one entry, you could use the navigation buttons on the bottom of the page to shift through your list. To quickly find a specific BOM, you can use the search bar on the top right. Just type in a keyword and the system will filter the entries for you. Moving on to the quotations. This is where you can oversee all your sales quotations at a glance. Here, you are presented with a clean and organized table showing essential details like date, reference node, customer, note, total, and status. To create a new quotation, you will begin by clicking on the Add Quotation button, allowing you to enter the details of a new sale opportunity. Each entry here is timestamped, ensuring you can track quotations chronologically. Every quotation is assigned a unique reference number to ensure precise tracking and to avoid any mix-ups. You'll see customer names, providing a quick reference to the recipients of your quotes. Occasionally, you'll notice additional notes alongside, which can include special conditions or reminders for your team. Crucially, the total column displays the quotation amount, vital for financial forecasting. The status column reflects the current progress, with all showcase entries marked as completed, indicating successful negotiations. Quotations vary significantly in total value, from as little as $1 to the substantial amount of $1,300, demonstrating the system's capability to handle a diverse range of sales activities. Each quotation can manage individually through the Actions drop menu here, where you can edit, delete, or view the detailed quotation. Furthermore, you can export these equations to an Excel file or delete multiple entries at once, streamlining your administrative tasks. If you need to find a specific quotation, you can simply use the search bar on the top right. And with the pagination controls, navigating to the main entries is effortless. Next, we have the sale orders. The sale order page is crucial for tracking all transactions. Let's start by exploring the layout. You can see we have a clean, organized table that lists all sale orders with pertinent details. Each column provides a specific information. Date shows when the order was placed. Reference to and reference note to offer unique identifiers for tracking. Customer tells us who made the purchase, and total indicates the order's value. The deposit column reflects any upfront payments received, while status confirms if an order is completed or approved, ensuring you know the progress of each sale. To interact with an order, use the action button. This feature allows you to edit, delete, or view more details about the transaction. Looking for a specific order? You can use a date filter or the search bar to quickly locate what you need. The bottom of the page has pagination controls, making it easy to navigate through your list if you have many orders. With this system, you have a comprehensive view of your sales, empowering you to manage your business effectively. Remember, the power of this tool is in the details, and understanding it is the key to your business's success. Moving on to the sales invoice, it's a crucial component for managing your business transactions effectively. Here, we see a table populated with sales data. We can notice how it's neatly organized by date, reference number, customer, salesperson, and the grand total. To create a new invoice, you begin by clicking on the Add Sale button, allowing you to enter the details of a new sale opportunity. The date column tells us when the sale was recorded. Moving right, the reference node provides a unique identifier for each transaction, ensuring traceability. Each entry specifies the customer and the associated salesman, linking sales to step performance. Critical financial figures like the grand total, paid amount, and balance gives immediate insights into your cash flow status. Delivery and payment status are color-coded for quick reference. Pending, partial, or paid, ensuring you're always on top of the order fulfillment and receivables. At the bottom of the interface lies the totals, providing you with a snapshot of your financials at a glance. Each invoice can be managed individually through an action drop-down menu here, where you can edit, delete, or view the detailed question. Let's click on Export Excel file. This feature is invaluable for backup, reporting, or detailed analysis outside the platform. And just like that, you can download your sales data. ready to be reviewed or shared with your team. If you need to find a specific transaction, you can use a search bar to quickly locate any entry by customer, date, or reference number. Next, we have the POS sales. This is where all your sales transactions are recorded. Every row represents a transaction with details like date, reference number, and total sales amount. We can notice the columns: date for the transaction date, reference number for unique identification, followed by SI reference now, and salesman for track and sales by personnel. Analyzing recent transactions is key to understand daily operations. Look at the top rows with dates in April 2024. We see consistent sales with varying totals, indicative of regular business activity. It's crucial to monitor this for any discrepancies or trends. Your grand total is the lifeblood of the sales data. It's complemented by the paid column, reflecting payment received. This POS system separates sales and payment records for clarity and helps manage cash flow efficiently. Let's keep a close eye on the payment status and delivery status columns. They swiftly inform you which transactions are complete and which are still pending, ensuring you follow up promptly. Each sales can be managed individually throughout the action drop-down menu here, where you can edit, delete, or view the detailed question. At the bottom, the summary row highlights the totals. It's an instant snapshot of your performance over the display period, giving you crucial insights at a glance. Moving on to the deliveries. Here, you can add, track, and manage all your deliveries with ease. We can notice the comprehensive details such as date, delivery reference, sales reference, and customer information. With just a click, you can add new deliveries, convert sales into deliveries, export data for reporting, or maintain your database by removing outdated entries. Our system keeps you updated with the delivery status. Whether it's completed or pending, you are always in the know. Find what you need in moments with our quick search and filter options, saving you time and enhancing productivity. Each entry is a gateway to the details that matter. The date helps you track timelines, delivery reference link to specific orders, and customer information connects you to your client base. Next, we have the sales returns. The sales return page is your hub for tracking and managing returns. On this screen, you see a clean layout that puts all the essential information at your fingertips. Let's dive into the details. The interface is divided into several columns: date, reference note to, customer, total return, credit amount, paid, discount, balance, payment, status, and lastly, actions. Each entry on the sale returns list represents a transaction where goods are returned. The reference note field uniquely identifies this return transaction, while reference note to relates to the original sale document. The customer for this return is listed as a walk-in customer, indicating that no specific customer account was used. We can also notice the total return value is $100, with the same amount appearing under credit amount. This signifies that the return items are valued at $100, which is now credited to the customer's account. There is a zero value in both the paid and discount columns, suggesting that no payment has been made against this return and no discount was offered. Subsequently, the balance reflects the credit amount and the payment status is currently pending. This status indicates that action is required to resolve this return. The action column holds the key to managing transaction. By clicking here, you can issue a refund, apply the credit to future purchases, or even restock the return items. For further analysis or record keeping, you can export this data to an Excel file with just one click. And if you need to clean up your records, deleting a sale return is straightforward. Moving on to the full customers. This module is designed to help you manage your fuel sales effectively. First, let's look at the Add Fuel Customer button. This feature allows you to create a new profile for customer purchasing fuel. We can simply click here and you'll be prompted to enter the customer's details. When you are ready to record a new sale, click on the Create Sale button. This will take you to a form where you can input the sale details, including date, quantity, and price. When you are ready to record a new sale, click on the Create Sale button. This will take you to a form where you can input the sale details, including date, quantity, and price. For those who need to analyze sales data externally, the Export to Excel file button is lifesaver. With one click, you can download your sales data for further analysis. The Delete Full button is used to remove a sale record. In the main table, you'll see your full sales records. Let's break down what each column represents. Under date, you'll find when the sale was recorded. Reference provides a unique identifier for the transaction. Customer shows who purchased the fuel, and salesman indicates who made the sale. The quantity column displays the amount of fuel sold, and grand total shows the total value of the sale. Status is crucial for tracking. Clear indicates a completed and paid transaction. It's essential for keeping your account in check. Each entry has an action drop-down menu. This is where you can view, edit, or delete a specific sale record, giving you full control over your sales data. Next, we have the Add Close Shift Fuel. This module is designed to streamline your day-to-day fuel sales and accounting. First, let's look at the Add Fuel button. This button allows you to enter the details of a new daily fuel form. We can simply click on this button to begin logging a new transaction. Here, you'll input the date, reference number, and select the salesperson responsible for the transaction. Let's go back to the main screen. You can view all the recorded entries. Let's break down the information displayed here. The date column reflects when the transaction was made, ensuring you can track sales on a daily basis. Next to reference now provides a unique identifier for each transaction, critical for audits and record keeping. The salesman column shows which team member made the sale, allowing for performance tracking and commission calculations. The exact timing for transactions is logged under time, offering insights into peak hours and helping in shift planning. Quantity details are meticulously recorded here. Customer quantity is the amount prepaid by the customer. Using quantity is the quantity utilized, and fuel quantity is what's dispensed. The fuel amount reflects the monetary value of the fuel provided, and cash change indicates any change returned to the customer. Cash submit and credit amount help in reconciling cash in hand and credit transactions, ensuring your accounts are balanced. The different column highlights discrepancies if any, while study shows the completion state of each transaction. For any amendments or the view of detail receipt, the action button gives you the tools to manage each entry. With easy export and deletion options, managing your records has never been simpler. Moving on to the member cards. To add a new member, uh, you can click on the Add Member card. This lets you enroll a new customer into your loyalty program. You'll enter the relevant details such as card number and customer name. Let's look at the detail view of the member card entry. This card number is unique to each customer, ensuring a personal experience. The award points feature is where you check loyalty points. A great way to get in the detail with repeat business. You can see you created the card and associate customer. If you need to make change or analyze the data, editing and exporting the Excel is super straightforward. Each card is an expiration date to maintain an active customer here. With the actions icon, you can modify, delete, or view more details about the member card. Next, we have the AR settlements. First, let's look at the top left corner where you can see the Add AR Settlement Payment button. Clicking here allows you to input new payment data received from your customers. Below this button, you'll find the heart of the AR Settlements page, a detailed table listing all payment transactions. Each column in this table provides a crucial information. The date column indicates when the payment was recorded. Keeping your entries in chronological order ensures a clear financial timeline. The reference note links each payment to a specific invoice, while the amount column displays the total sum paid by the customer. You may also notice a discount column, which will show any reductions offered to the customer, and the pay by column revealing the method of payment used, such as cash on hand or bank transfers. On the far right, the action column contains icons for editing or deleting records. This is where you can manage each transaction with ease. We can notice how the table neatly summarizes each transaction, providing a transparent overview of your AR settlements at a glance. Moving on to the purchase request, this is where you can oversee every purchase request made within your organization all in one place. Adding a new purchase request is straightforward. You can just click the Add Purchase Request button. If you prefer to work with data in spreadsheets, you can easily export information to Excel. As you can see, the interface is clean and user-friendly, allowing you to track requests with ease. The main table displays essential details such as date, reference now, project, requested by, note, grand total, priority, and status. Each column provides valuable insights. The date column indicates when a request was made. The reference now is a unique identifier for each purchase request. Under project, you'll see which company, project, or department the request is associated with, ensuring that you can allocate expenses accurately. The requested by column shows who within your organization has made the request. This helps you track and approve purchases across different teams. Some requests may have additional notes for contacts. Check the note column for any extra details provided by the requester. The grand total gives you a quick overview of the financial impact of each request. This allows for better budgeting and financial planning. Prioritizing is key in managing workflows. The priority column distinguishes between normal and urgent requests, helping you to adjust critical needs promptly. Finally, the status column shows the current status of each purchase request. With status like completed, pending, and approved, you can instantly see the progress of each request. For each entry, the action button allows you to manage the request further. You can view details, edit, or delete the request, as well as carry out any other necessary actions. The interface supports pagination, making it easier to navigate through your requests without overwhelming your screen. Next, we have the purchase orders. It's designed to give you a quick yet comprehensive view of all your purchase activities at a glance. To start, the Add Purchase Order button at the top left corner is your first step toward creating new purchase orders. It's a straightforward click, and you are on your way to placing a new order with suppliers. If you need a hard copy or want to analyze your data further, the Export to Excel file button allows you to do just that, with data structure for clarity and convenience. Meanwhile, the Delete Purchase Order button is self-explanatory, but remember, use it with caution. Below, we see the list of purchase orders. Each entry is detailed with dates, reference number, projects, suppliers, totals, deposits, and the current status. Sorting through your purchase orders is intuitive. We can click on any column heading like date, supplier, or total to sort the list according to that parameter. The status column indicates where each order stands. From pending to completed, it allows you to track progress in real time. An order marked as partial means part of the order has been received or fulfilled. The action column contains the magical links to view details, edit, or even contact the supplier directly related to a specific purchase order. It's a hub for all related tasks. If you are looking for something specific, you can utilize the search bar to filter results. It's a powerful feature to quickly find what you need without scrolling through every entry. The bottom of the page shows the total number of entries and the grand total of all orders. This is vital for keeping tab on your expenses. Moving on to the purchase receipts. Starting at the top left corner, at the purchase button. a critical feature allowing users to enter new purchases into the system seamlessly. Next to it, export Excel file button offers an efficient way to transfer this data into a spreadsheet for further analysis or reporting. The import purchase and delete purchase functions provide users with bulk operations, enabling quick data entry and maintenance. Now, let's look at the table column. The date column records the data of each transaction, offering a chronological view of purchases. The ref node stands for reference number, a unique identifier for each transaction. This is followed by PO reference and SI reference columns for linking purchase orders and sales invoices, respectively. The supplier column indicates the source of your inventory, a vital piece of data for supply chain management. In terms of finances, the grand total column shows the total amount for each purchase, while the return column tracks the value of any return items. The paid column reflects payments made, and the balance shows outstanding amount crucial for managing your payables. We can notice the color-coded payment status column. It visually represents the status of each payment, where blue indicates paid, orange shows partial payments, and white denotes pending status. Finally, the action column at the far right allows the user to edit or view detailed information about the purchase, providing a full control over each entry. At the bottom, the software neatly sums up financial totals, offering a quick snapshot of your purchase-related finances. This interface is also features a search bar, pagination, and ability to adjust the number of entries displayed per page, all designed for user convenience. Next, we have the purchase returns. The purchase returns module is an essential feature for managing the goods return to suppliers. Let's dive in and understand how to navigate this section. On your screen, you see lists of all purchases and returns made in the system. This streamlined interface helps you track returns efficiently, all in one place. The date column shows you when the return was processed. You can use the chronological order, which can be adjusted by clicking the column header. Each return has a unique reference number, or ref node, facilitating user tracking. These references are crucial for reconciling accounts and managing inventory. The ref node to field indicates the original purchase order number associated with the return, linking your transactions and maintaining a clear audit trail. The project column may link the return to a specific project. This feature is invaluable for businesses that allocate expenses to different projects for budgeting and accounting. Under supplier, the system records the name of the supplier the items were returned to. It simplifies the managing supplier relationship and return policies. Next, the total return on debit amount column shows the financial details of the return. These figures are critical for adjusting your financial statements accurately. You will also notice that each transaction has a payment status. It indicates whether the return has been settled financially. Label as paid or is still awaiting completion, mark as pending. Each row ends with an actions button, providing you quick access to edit, view, or delete the return entry. Always ensure to have the necessary permissions before making any changes. This system provides an option to export to Excel for those who prefer to analyze data using the spreadsheet tools, or delete purchases to clean any erroneous entries. Moving on to the AP settlements. This is a crucial component for managing your vendor payments efficiently. This comprehensive interface provides a snapshot of all of your payable settlements at a glance. Initiating a new settlement is straightforward. You can split-click Add Payments Settlements buttons to begin. A user-friendly form ensures accurate data entry, minimizing the potential for errors and differences. Each entry is neatly listed, showing the date, reference number, and amount due alongside the discount and payment method. Entries are sorted by date, providing a clear timeline of your financial commitments. The amount range from minor transactions of a few dollars to significant payouts, reflecting the diverse nature of business expenses. The discount column reveals opportunities where early payment has been rewarded, a key strategy in smart financial management. The pay by column indicates whether payments were made via cash on hand or through ABA Bank, showcasing the flexibility in managing your cash flow. Each line item offers action for editing or deleting transactions, ensuring you have full control over your settlements. The AP settlement payment list gives a complete overview of all transaction proceeds, ensuring transparency and traceability. Next, we have the supplier price list. This is an essential component of your purchasing process. On your screen, you see the supplier price list table, which is your gateway to monitoring and updating the prices you negotiated with your suppliers. Each entry contains vital details such as the date the price was added, the unique reference number for internal tracking, the supplier name, and the start and end dates of the price validity. The date column shows when the price was entered into the system. Next is the reference column, which helps you quickly identify the transaction in question. In the supplier column, names like general supplier and Westnut signify who the price list pertains to. The start date and end date define the time frame for which the listed prices are applicable. An active price list will have a start date in the past and an end date in the future. Crucially, the status column indicates whether the price list is currently in effect. Here, we see that all listed prices are marked as active. To the far right under Actions, icons allow you to edit or delete a supplier price. It's how you keep your data current and accurate. We can notice the tools above the table. You can add a new supplier price, import supplier price data, or export an Excel file for further analysis. By selecting Add Supplier Price, you can input new price agreements as soon as they are negotiated. The Export Excel Files button is particularly useful for backing up your data or when you need to conduct complex price analysis like sort of Cuscen. Remember, you can search for specific entries and navigate through multiple pages using the search box and pagination controls. Moving on to the expense requests. Here, each entry affects an individual request submitted by employees. The columns are methodically arranged to provide clear and concise information. The date column shows when the request was made. Next reference column contains unique identifier for each request, making tracking and retrieval simple. The supplier column indicates the vendor or service provider associated with the expense. In this demo, we see multiple entries for general supplier company, suggesting a recurring business relationship. Moving to the right, the grand total column lists the total amount requested. The status column is key for tracking progress. It shows if a request is pending, approved, or completed. Finally, the action buttons at the end of each row allowing for editing, approving, or deleting requests, showcasing the system user-friendly design. Additional functions such as add expense request and export Excel file enhance the user experience by providing quick access to common tasks. Next, we have the list expenses. This is a tool for small business to track and organize their expenditures. Let's start by adding a new expense. You'll notice the add expense button in the top left corner. This is where you can input new transactions as they occur. If you have multiple expenses to upload, the export expense function streamlines this process by allowing you to add bulk entries from an Excel file. If you need a copy of your record, the Export to Excel file button enables you to download your entire expense list for easy sharing or analysis. Managing your expenses also means keeping your records clean. We can use the Delete Expenses button to remove any inaccuracies or outdated entries. Here in the main panel, you'll see your expenses listed chronologically. This is your financial activity at a glance, keeping you informed and in control. Every expense is meticulously recorded with essential details such as the date of the transaction, a unique reference code, the project it's allocated to, and the grand total. For each entry, there is a specific actions you can perform. This may include editing details, attaching receipts, or marking as a reimburse. At the bottom of the interface confirms the total number of entries you have listed. With Cuscen, you can customize with this view to display as many entries as you need per page. And for quick access to a specific expense, the search bar function is a powerful tool. Just type in a keyword and the software does the rest. Moving in, moving on to the users. Here, displaying all registered individuals with access to the system. Let's break down the features you see on this page. To add user button, you can prominently display is your first step to onboarding new team members into the system. With export Excel file, you can seamlessly export user data for reporting purposes or offline management. The delete user button allows you to remove users who no longer need access to the system, ensuring secure and up-to-date user management. In the user list table, we have columns for first name, last name, username, email address, company, award points, group, status, and actions. Each entry provides a detailed information and their status is active, showing they are currently have access to the system. The search bar functionality and filters allow you to quickly find users or narrow down the list according to specific criteria such as status, group, or the number of award points. Next, we have the salesman. This section is designed to streamline your Salesforce management. Adding a new salesman is just a click away. By adding add salesman, you can enter the details of a new team member, including their name, gender, phone number, and their position within the company. If you need to analyze your sales data offline, then the export Excel file feature allows you to seamlessly transfer all the salesman details onto a spreadsheet, making it convenient for further analysis and reporting. You can effortlessly manage your sales team with real-time data. You can view essential information like the salesman name, contact details, position, commission structure, and more. You can keep track of your team's activity with the status indicator, showing who is active. If you need to make change, then the action button gives you the control to edit details or remove a salesman from the system. You can customize the view to your preference, sort by name, position, or any column headers with a simple click. If you are looking for someone specific, then the search function is designed to help you find salesmen quickly. Moving on to the deliveries. This is where you can oversee your delivery step at a glance. To add a new delivery person, we can simply click on the add button at the top left. And you'll be prompted to enter their details such as first name, last name, gender, and contact information. If you need to share this data, no problem. We can click export Excel file to download the list for reporting or analysis purposes. You can also check out the status column. Here, you can quickly see if the delivery person is currently active. An active status means they are ready to take on delivery tasks. We can examine an entry. Here, we have delivery personnel. You'll see his full name, gender, phone number, and his position. And the status is marked as active, indicating he's available for deliveries. If you're looking for someone specific, we can use the search bar at the top right to find the delivery person quickly. The action column contains for editing or deleting personal records. This ensures your delivery personnel data is always up to date. Next, we have the customers. In the customer section, you'll find a comprehensive list of your clients neatly organized for quick access and management. Starting with the Add Customer feature, you can effortlessly input new client details into your system. If you need to analyze your data offline, the Export to Excel function allows you to download your customer list in a convenient spreadsheet format. Each entry in your customer list contains detailed information starting with the unique customer code, followed by the company name and primary contact's name, their phone, and address. We can notice how the information is concise yet comprehensive, providing a snapshot of customer details essential for personalized communication and sales strategy. The price group and customer group columns are customizable fields that you can tailor to fit the specific segments of your market. With Cuscen, you can also track which salesman is assigned to a customer and view the deposits made, enabling you to manage your sales force and finance effectively. The status column indicates whether a customer is active, ensuring you're always up to date with your client's engagement. And with the action buttons, you'll have the power to edit, delete, or view transaction related to each customer, all with a single click. Moving on to the suppliers. Here, you'll find a comprehensive list of all the suppliers that your business interacts with. You'll see a table that is neatly organized into columns such as code, company, name, and contact details like email address and phone. Adding a new supplier is straightforward. Simply click on the Add Supplier button here. To keep your records offline or for further analysis, you can export this table to Excel. The phone column is where you'll find the contact numbers for quick communication. You can notice how each entry has a unique number, ensuring you can get in touch with the right person efficiently. The deposit column is particularly important as it shows the financial transaction with suppliers. Each row has an action button at the end. This is where you can view, add, edit, add information, or remove a supplier from your list should need arise. Next, we have the chart of accounts. The main panel displays a list of account codes, names, and details. These codes are unique identifier for each account, helping the streamline process of recording transactions and generating reports. Looking at the columns, we see a code for account identification, name for easy reference, parent code indicating the hierarchy of accounts, section showing a category like current assets, and is cash identifying whether the account is related to the cash transactions. On the right, the action column contains icon for editing, deleting, or viewing more detail about an account. Above, tools for account management, including options to add account, export Excel, and delete accounts. Moving on to the enter journals. On the top, we have our primary action buttons: add, add an enter journal, import enter journal, export Excel file, and delete. This provide quick access to some of the most used features. The main panel lists all journal entries with key details like date, reference known, department, project, credit by, note, and amount. Navigating through your journal entries is intuitive. You can use the search function quickly to find a specific entry or filter through dates and amounts. For editing, simply click on the pencil icon. Or to delete an entry, uh, or to delete an entry, click the trash can icon. Remember, these actions should be taken with caution as they will alter your financial records. Adding a new journal entry is straightforward. Click on Add Entry Journal, fill out the necessary details in the form, and save. Your new entry will save, now be part of the ledger. Next, we have the bank reconciliations. This is your gateway to ensuring your bank statements match with your accounting records. To begin a new reconciliation, you can click on Add Bank Reconciliation. This function allows you to create new entry to match your latest bank statement with the transaction listed in your accounting software. You'll enter the date range for the statement, the reference number for easy tracking, and the select relevant account you are reconciling. Next, input the beginning and ending balances as per your bank statement. Now carefully enter each transaction from your bank statement. This includes deposits, withdrawals, and bank fees. Ensure that dates and amount match your bank statement exactly. The goal of reconciliation is to make sure that every transaction in your accounting system is reflected on your bank statement and vice versa. This helps in identifying any errors or fraudulent transactions. Don't forget to account for service charges and interest earned, which might not have been recorded in your accounting ledger. Once you have matched all entries, your beginning balance plus deposit minus withdrawals and adjusted for any bank fees or interest should equal your ending balance. For record keeping or further analysis, you can export to reconciliation to an Excel file by clicking on Export Excel file. Moving on to the journals. This is where all your financial transactions are recorded in order. Let's examine the columns you see here. Transaction, it indicates a type of transaction such as sale return or using stock. Transaction ID, a unique identifier for each transaction. Transaction date, the date on which the transaction occurred. Moving on, we have the account name. It shows which account has been affected by the transaction. Reference, it's a code that links to transaction details or external documents. Debit and credit column, these two columns represent the two fundamental aspects of every transaction, showing which accounts are debited and credited. We can notice the narrative description, branch, project, and user columns. These provide additional details such as the purpose of transaction, any descriptive information, the branch location involved, specific project codes, and the user who recorded the entry. The search bar at the top right allows you to filter through entries quickly. The pagination at the bottom shows that there are over 1,600 entries in this list, indicating the software's capacity to handle a significant volume of transactions. Above list, you have option to print or download these entries. This can be crucial for creating backups or for physical audits. Next, we have the general ledger. The general ledger is the backbone of any accounting system, and here in Cuscen, it's designed for clarity and control. Let's dive into the specific of this ledger entry and understand how it reflects in your overall financial management. Here we see a stock good receipt entry marked with today's date. Created by Cuscen Demo, this tells us who has entered the transaction, providing an audit trail and accountability within your financial team. Debits and credits, the dual forces of accounting. In this entry, we see a debit of 4,000 units. It's a simple number that has a significant impact on your financial statements. At the top, you can see the options to print, download as XLS, or hide form. These are the tools to take your data offline or manipulate in a ways that best serve your reporting analysis needs. Every transaction carries a reference code, a unique identifier that binds a transaction to a business event, such as purchase order or a sales receipt. Moving on to the trial balance. The trial balance is a critical accounting report that lists the balance of all accounts at a point in time, giving us a glimpse into our financial standings. Under current assets, you can see various accounts listed, like cash, account receivables, and inventory. This represents a company's cash on hand, money owed by customers, and the value of stock held for sale, respectively. The figures on the debit column indicates a resource that increases the company's value. Moving on, we find current liabilities, which outlines what the company owes in the short term. Following that, we have equity and retained earnings, showing us the company's net worth and retained earnings, which is essentially the cumulative net income that has been reinvested in the company rather than paid out as dividends. The income section highlights the company total sales revenue, while cost of goods sold represents the direct costs attributed to the production of the goods sold by the company. These two accounts gives us a quick look at the company's operational performance before we even delve into the expenses. Under operating expenses, we see costs like office expenses that are necessary for day-to-day operations. Other expenses and gains might include one-off costs or income. And finally, the loss section will reflect the net loss, if there are any. Next, we have the income statement by month. We are looking at a detailed income statement provided by the Cuscen accounting system. As you can see, this statement covers the company's financial performance from January through April 2024. Let's start with the income section. The company's main revenue stream comes from sale revenue. They also have accounted for sales discount, which, as we can tell by the negative figures, reduced to total sale revenue. This is a critical indicator of their pricing strategies and customer incentives. Moving down, we reach the cost of goods sold. It's broken down into cost of product, inventory adjustment, purchase discount, and inventory usage. These accounts tell us what it costs to produce or purchase the products they are selling. After subtracting the cost from the revenue, we arrive at the gross profit. This number gives us an initial glimpse of profitability before operating expenses are considered. Next, we have the operating expenses, which include staff cost and general operating expense. These are the costs it takes to run the business on a day-to-day basis. Other income and other expenses are just important. While other income has remained consistent, it's crucial to monitor other expenses to ensure they don't eat into the profits unexpectedly. And finally, at the bottom line, we have the net profit loss. This is what left after all income is collected and all expenses are paid. Moving on to the balance sheet. As we can see, balance sheet is divided into three main sections: assets, liabilities, and equity. It's a financial statement that provides a snapshot of what the company owns and owes, as well as the amount invested by the shareholders. First, we have the current assets. These are the assets that the company expects to convert into cash within 1 year. We can notice that some figures are in parentheses, which indicates a negative value. For instance, the cash account has a negative balance, possibly due to an overdraft. The fixed assets section is practically empty, which could suggest that the company either doesn't owe any long-term assets, or they are yet to be recorded. Next, we have the balance sheet by month. First, let's look at the current assets. We see decreasing cash, indicating a significant cash outflow. Account receivables have remained steady, suggesting consistent revenue collection. Moving to current liabilities, we see a steady figure in supplier deposit, while bank overdrafts have not been utilized in the observed period. Now let's turn our attention to equity. Share capital has remained constant as expected, but there is a noticeable decrease in retained earnings, indicating a possible distribution of dividends or a reduction in the net income. Let's analyze the trend. The steady account receivables indicate reliable customers or effective credit control. The increase in inventory levels warrants a closer look to ensure it's aligned with sales forecasts. The cash trend is concerning, and we'll be seeking explanations from the management on this cash burn rate. In comparison to the previous month, the total asset have remained relatively stable with minor fluctuations. However, the drop in cash and slight increase in total liabilities may affect the company's liquidity position. What we want to see in a healthy company is a balance between assets and liabilities. The equity section reflects the company's net worth, which has seen a minor reduction. This warrants a discussion on profit reinvestment versus distribution strategies. Moving on to the inventory opening balances. Here, you can see a table with your past inventory entries. The columns display the data of the entry, the reference number, and the user who created the entry. The date column shows when each inventory item was added. The reference line is your internal tracking code for that entry, and credit by indicates which user made the entry. These details are essential for maintaining a clear record of your stock. To add a new inventory opening balance, simply click at the on the add button on the top of the page. This will open a form where you can input the relevant details for your new inventory item. You have the handy options to export the Excel file to keep an offline record, or to add by Excel to file to bulk upload inventory items, saving time and reducing manual entry errors. To delete an entry, select the desired item using the checkbox on the left and press delete. Remember, this action cannot be undone, so be certain before you proceed. If you need to find a specific item, you can use the search function to quickly locate entries by any keyword such as the date or reference number. Next, we have the customer opening balances. Opening balances are crucial as they represent the starting point of your accounting records for your customers. At the top, you'll see several options. Add allows you to input new opening balances manually. Export the Excel file lets you download these records for offline analysis. And delete is self-explanatory, but remember, use it with caution. In the data table, we have several columns. They shows when the opening balance was recorded. In this case, it's the first day of the year, a common starting date for the financial records. Reference is your tracking code. It helps you quickly identify transactions. The customer column shows the name of the client, and the amount field showing $5,000 indicates the money owed by the customer when starting your financial records. Paid is currently at $0, which means the customer hasn't made any payments against the opening balance yet. Consequently, the balance remains at $5,000. The action drop-down is where you can edit or view more details about the entry. It's an essential tool for maintaining accurate records. Moving on to the supplier opening balance. Here, you'll notice a clean table view. Each row represents an individual record with your supplier. Let's break down the columns. The date column marked in the international format of the day, month, and year represents the starting point of your financial relationship with the supplier. Next, we have the reference column. This field should contain a unique identifier for the transaction, ensuring clarity and traceability. The supplier column lists the name of the supplier. In our example, general supplier company is displayed. Moving on to the financial heart of this table, amount, paid, and balance. The amount shows the initial total owed. Paid indicates any payments made against this balance, and balance reveals the outstanding amount still owed. On the far right, the action column presents a suite of options, allowing you to edit or update each entry as needed. Adding a new supplier balance is easy. We can click on Add, fill in the details in the form that pops up, and we're all good to go. You can also export data to Excel or import it using the Export to Excel file. and add by Excel file functions. Moving on to the settings, as you can see, we have multiple settings. Let's give a couple examples. Let's go to system settings. So you can see we can change the sign name, language, the currency, as well as the categories. We can change the warehouses, projects, branches as well. Go to tax rates. You can change the tax rates, cash accounts. We can delete or add any cash accounts that we want. Lastly, we have reports. As you can see, we have different reports for everything, for inventory, transfer, sale, purchase, expense. Let's go example with inventory. Let's open a report of inventory in and out. As you can see, all the detailed report of the inventory in and out with the picture, what's the name, with the code and the unit. Let's give an example from the purchase. Let's open a report on purchase request report. As you can see, all the details on a purchase request report. Let's give another example on payment. Let's open a sales payment report. As you can see, all the sales report, sales payments report in detail. Let's open one, as you can see. Another one, as you can see, everything in detail. You have option to edit or print. Let's go with one final one. Let's go with fuel. Let's go open a fuel customers report. As you can see, we can see all the fuel customer details report. Let's open one. And yeah, we have the option to print one as well. That wraps up our overview of the system. If you're interested in further discussions or would like to explore system customization options, please reach out to us. Thank you.